Good evening, everyone. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. I thought I would show you my heat, simply because my Mr. Buddy died on me about a week ago. So I've been using my stove with a clay pot. I mean, what can I say? It does do the job. It has been down to 32, 31 here, and I've been okay. Not super hot, not super warm, but this does keep it going. The problem with this is, as well as the Mr. Buddy, Mr. Buddy uses these small canisters. 4 of these canisters make a gallon, and it costs $4.50 per canister. That's $9 when you buy 2 at a time. And you know which canisters I'm talking about. I don't know if I've got any hanging around here. But anyway, so I decided, well, this is no good. This is very expensive. There's only 5 hours in one of those canisters when you run it on the Mr. Buddy. And you might need a lot more than that. So in 20 hours, you've just spent $20. This stove runs on butane. Okay? So this, I can show you the butane, okay? And this will run about 30 hours on one can, which is $3.47. Well, that's okay, but it's just like the ice. Ice in the summer, I was spending $5 to $8 a day. This, I'm spending $5 to $8 a day or $10 a day on heat, and I'm not doing so bad on the butane. But I'm looking at buying a larger propane tank and then filling the small little pound canisters from the big propane and then being able to run that on a different stove. I do have a propane stove in my son's garage, which I may go and get. And it would be a lot cheaper for me. It would probably run me around $3 or maybe less every 2 days, because this is getting outrageously expensive. I'm supposed to be saving money, and trust me, this summer I spent a fortune on ice, and now I'm spending a fortune on heating. So I have to resolve this issue. However, this is showing you that you can heat your minivan. Would be a lot easier than this big van with this. The clay pot retains the heat. It's like a little mini oven. And if your stove goes off, heat is still generating off of this clay till it cools down. Now, because it's been raining as well, my solar is way down. So I do have a 250-watt heater. That's not working too well if I'd only have 400 watts on the solar, which is about what I'm having every day because I'm not getting any sun. However, the miracle of all of this, and I'm telling you it's a miracle. A couple of years ago, my son bought me a heating pad, and I thought, gee, this is so dumb, a heating pad. I don't need a heating pad. I got news for you guys. This heating pad that I have, I'm going to try and unwrap it. I can. Anyway, I now have I pulled my heating pad out. It's called Pure. Okay? This heating pad, in about an 8-hour period, only uses about 200 to 300 watts. It's marvelous. And I keep it on a 3. And then what I do is I'm heating up my bed, and then I will put it over, when I go to sleep, I'll put it so that it runs, you can run it all night or you can run it for a couple of hours. I put it so that it runs for a couple of hours, and then it shuts itself off. And it really keeps my bed warm. And the stove here keeps the chill off of the whole van. Okay? But this thing uses about 120 watts. But it's marvelous. It uses 120 watts for maybe 4 or 5 seconds. When it first starts, maybe for a minute, then it shuts off. Then it's off for a minute, then it turns back on. So again, in about an 8-hour period, 8 to 12-hour period, it only uses 300 watts instead of 120 watts an hour. So it's a real good deal. So if you want to stay warmer, get you a heating pad. This really, really helps with keeping you warm at night. I just thought I would tell you about this. Seems like, when you live in nature, when you live with the elements, you're always faced with trying to be creative and not spend a fortune on heating or cooling. And, dealing with the cool, you've got to come up with ways to deal with it other than spending a ton of money. So you don't have to have a Mr. Buddy. I paid $78 for Mr. Buddy in the middle of last winter, and it hasn't even lasted a full winter. It just stopped sparking. Now I have to take it apart. I have to go through all the parts. I'm not very strong, but I have to be somewhere, not in the van, to take this apart and to go through all of the little elements to see what's wrong with it. I'm not going to throw it away, but I'm definitely not going to buy another one. I'd rather just use this, and I'll bring in my propane stove, and it'll be much, much cheaper for me this winter than using just this. And besides that, butane you can't hardly find. At Walmart, it's $3.47 a can. If you go to Ace, it's $7.49 a can, guys. And Walmart runs out all the time, and you end up going to Ace because they always have some because it's almost 3 times the price. So I'm just giving you uh, a little showing of what's going on right now, what I'm doing inside the van. I'll be showing you some more stuff, but I do want to do the meatloaf pretty soon. I just haven't had any days off, and I've been really tired. But now I have 3 days off, and I'm going to try and do a bunch of videos so you guys can enjoy them. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Camo.